feel great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of need.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 743 of the Immigration Answer Show. Today is the Ides of January, January 15th, tax day. 5 days till the inauguration, 15 days into the new year. How's your year going so far? How's 2025 treating you? Let me know in the comments. I say hello to everyone in the comments, and I thank you for your comments. For everybody in the waiting room, remember, cameras off, last names off. Try to use an alias. Try to talk about your friend Joe. Joe who? Joe Mama, of course. All right. I'm going to dive right in because I got a tight schedule. I got to end right at 2 o'clock today. And I'm going to talk to Desperate Husband. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Not so good. So I have a friend who went to an interview, a spousal interview, which was quite adversarial. And at the end of the interview, they said everything was fine. But after we left, the husband sent in the divorce papers, which they had asked for at the first interview where his husband went to, but he didn't hand it in at the spousal interview. And then the case came back. They returned the case to USCIS, saying they think it's five things were wrong with it. My question is, we've answered the NOR thing. It's been more than 3 months. I've heard stories where sometimes they take up to a year, 2 years, because they really want to find out if this is real. Is that true? To respond?
No, that's BS. So let's back up. So this is an overseas case?
Yes, the husband was here undocumented. Went back on I think you call it the waiver to get a visa to come back into the country. So at the interview, they said, no, you have to bring your husband in. And the husband went in for a spousal interview. So yeah, it was to get the visa to come back into the country for the I-130.
Is this Jamaica?
No, this is South America. They're very homophobic, by the way.
Okay. So U.S. or the State Department conducts the interview. Does the U.S. citizen spouse go to the interview?
Yes.
What happens at that interview?
At the interview, he was very nervous. They separated. I think you call that
Stokes.
Yeah, they separate the husbands and ask their questions. And then at the end of the interview, the gentleman. It was a guy and a lady that was interviewing. And the gentleman who seems to be the lead guy said everything is fine. Pick up your passport in 2 weeks. But he never asked for the divorce paper. We were told to bring it in, but he never asked for the divorce papers. So when they left the interview, we said, why don't we send the divorce papers in since they didn't ask for it? And that's when the whole thing came back, saying it's going back to the USCIS.
Is there an age gap?
Yeah, there's an age gap.
How much?
62 and 44.
So 18 years.
Yeah.
The person who had to go back to their home country, they had entered the United States without inspection?
Yes.
And how long had they been in the United States?
Since 2011.
And how long did the 601 did the couple just file a 601A waiver or a 601 waiver?
601 waiver.
Okay. And you're saying that after that interview, after they told you to leave the passport, that shortly thereafter, they sent the whole file back to USCIS for possible revocation, and the couple has not heard back from USCIS with an NOIR, right?
Right. So they received the NOIR. It was responded to.
Oh, okay. So what did the NOIR say?
The no said there were 5 questions that didn't correspond with each other.
And like, what were they? Like, what were the questions?
One of them, one of the question was, where did you? The husband said they bought the ring at the Galleria or wherever at the mall for $200, which is true. But also the other husband said no, 2 rings were presented. At the interview, they also asked, did you lose one of the ring? And they said, yeah, because we did lose one of the ring. I'm gonna have to stop saying friend like that because I'm getting mixed up. So let me just
say the American and the non-American.
Yeah, so the non-American did lose the ring, and I guess that's what the husband was talking about. So they said that question didn't correspond.
What else?
The other thing was the date, the meeting date, which got mixed up because the meeting date. The third one was what happens after the wedding. And
what do you mean? Like, where did you go?
Yeah.
Okay. So you understand that it's extremely unusual and hardly ever happens that the American gets called into the embassy for an interview. Like, that happens maybe 1 out of 1,000 cases.
I thought so too. Yeah.
So they were already onto this couple at the outset. It sounds like the embassy doesn't like the case. Did the couple get help in responding to the notice of intent to revoke, or did they do it themselves?
No, the couple got help from a lawyer, the same lawyer who did the whole thing. To be quite honest, the couple wasn't prepared for the interview because we weren't told how to prepare for it.
Did the lawyer know that the U.S. citizen was being asked to go to that interview?
Yes, and the lawyer said, "Oh, they just go. They just want to see your face." I mean,
that was stupid.
Yeah.
That was bad advice. Okay, so what's your question for me? Now you've responded to the notice of intent to revoke like 90 days ago.
Yes, and we haven't heard anything.
What I'm trying to figure out is, when did this whole process start? When did you file the I-130?
The I-130 was filed back before COVID, and then there was COVID, so it was delayed.
And so if we had to guess, it's sitting still at USCIS, not having yet been sent back to the State Department, as far as you know?
Right. So my question is, I've heard that sometimes they do this, like they take like a year or 2 years because they want to really find out if you're married, and then they'll ask you for more evidence. Is that correct?
No, you're getting a lot of bad information. I think that if you really want to find out what's going to happen, you need to sue USCIS and the State Department. They're going to play this hot potato game forever, which is who has the file, right? So USCIS usually, almost always, revalidates the I-130 and sends it back to the State Department. But you could be stuck here for 2 years waiting while they try to figure out where your file actually is. Does that make sense?
Okay. So how long do I have to wait before I can sue them? Because I don't want to sue them and then we don't want to sue them and then it comes back saying like a vendetta, saying, okay, you're pushing us to do the case, so we're just gonna.
So we've sued them 2,000 times, and they don't do vendettas. They don't care about being sued. It just makes them get working on the case. They don't deny a case because you sued them or approve it because you sued them. It just is to get a final decision. So the thing is, they're going to decide your case at some point in the future. So why not do it sooner rather than later? That's my point.
Okay. And my point is, if they give us a bad decision, is there anything we can do after that, or we just have to live with the decision?
Technically, you could appeal it, file a motion to reopen, but that'd be really hard to overcome. If the embassy doesn't want to let the man come back, they're not going to let him come back.
Oh wow. So you're saying even if USCIS approve it and send it back, if they don't want the person to come back, they're not going to let him come back?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
the embassy has the choice. If there's an 18-year age gap and they feel like the couple was acting strange at the interview and their answers didn't match, they're not going to give a visa.
Okay.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye. I see Nurse Laura talking about her cat. So in our neighborhood, so in St. Louis, the biggest pizzeria in St. Louis is called Emo's. There's tons of Emo's all around town. And the Emos they're an older couple. Mr. Emo started Emo's like in the 70s, and they live like a couple blocks away. They have a huge little compound. It's all theirs. And they moved out there to where we are a long time before. And anyway, they live over there, and my boys love Emo's pizza. But anyway, our friend's son, Ryan, we drive him to school in the morning. So I drive on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the other mom drives on Tuesday and Thursday. And a cat has been hanging out on Ryan's back patio every day. And he's a big fat cat. He's real chubby and chunky. And he would leave at night. And he came back fine. So it wasn't like he was coming back like every day, but he was well fed and well taken care of. So Ryan had the great idea. This is after like 4 months. He decides to put one of those Apple, what do you call those things? Those little chips, that you can use. And he puts it on the cat's tile, one of those tiles. He puts a tile on the cat, and lo and behold, that night he figures out that the cat has gone over to the Emo's house. And this is IMO, Robert. Yeah, AirTag. Thank you. Hina. Puts the AirTag on the cat. And so he then figures out that it's over at the Emo's house. So then he goes and knocks on the door just to tell them what their cat has been up to. And the family was laughing, and they go, that's just Jerry, because they have another cat named Tom. So there's Tom and there's Jerry. So they invited him in and they gave him some frozen pizzas, and my boys were all bent out of shape because they said they wanted to kidnap the cat and hold him hostage for a lifetime supply of Emo's pizza. That was the running joke at the house. All right. I thought you guys would like that little story. Mary's here. Hello, Mary.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, so if my husband and I are in the US and I file for a petition for the spousal visa, and we've been married for 1 year and 10 months, but we received a green card when our marriage is almost 3 years, what determines whether he gets a 2-year visa or a 10-year visa? Is it based on the date we file for the petition or the date the green card would be approved?
Good question. It's the date that the green card is approved. So the $1 million question is, on the day the green card is approved, has the marriage been over 2 years?
Yeah, it would be probably around 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, if those fools take so long on your damn case. Yeah. So I think you're fine to file if you're concerned about the 751.
Okay. And let's say there's another scenario. So let's say I'm with my husband in his country and he has a valid F1 visa until 2028. Would us being married affect him going to America on an F1 visa?
Yep.
Okay. What would they?
Potentially.
Okay. Would they deny him at the border, or would they deny him before anything else?
It'd be at the border.
Okay.
It happens like one time out of 1,000, but it could happen.
What would you recommend him to do to not seem red flaggish, I guess?
Well, are you already married?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, then you just got to deal with it. He's married. I mean, I would just come back, make sure that he's got his class schedule printed out, that he's going back to school, and just, if they ask, are you married to a U.S. citizen, just make sure he's honest about it, because if he's not honest about it, that would be bad, and that would make it harder for him to get a green card.
Yeah, I mean, he studied in the U.S. for 7 years.
Yeah, so they're going to let him in. They're not going to sweat this.
Okay. Thank you so much. I guess that's everything.
See ya.
Have a great day. Bye.
You too. All right, let's go to June. Hello, June.
Hi, Jim. I just want to ask you, very quick question.
Sure.
I have this case from a I-485 for a petition from my wife, and I have this incoming interview, and it's the second one. And me and my wife are not doing better. She was asking me if she was thinking of filing a divorce,
She's the U.S.
and
He's the U.S. citizen, or you're the U.S. citizen?
she's the U.S. citizen.
And when you got married, were you in status or were you out of status?
I'm out of status.
So how long were you out of status before you filed the I-130?
Oh, it's like 4 months.
And you came on a visit visa or something else?
Yes, sir. I'm a tourist.
Okay. And tell me what happened at the first interview.
The first interview, we talk about it, and I told her, "Hey, we have to talk to the lawyer so that she might help us. Like I don't want to make mistakes, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, "No, I can do it my own." She was so stubborn. And I talked to the lawyer, and the lawyer told me, "Hey, you know what? Just don't appear to the interview.
Don't
Call
what?
them.
Don't what?
Don't show up."
Don't show up.
Yes, yes, sir.
The lawyer
That's
said,
what.
the lawyer said don't show up.
Yeah, because she was thinking that my wife is gonna do something crazy, make things like so that they won't, give me that green card.
Okay.
And she told me it's better if you're not getting along together, might as well file a BAWA case.
Your lawyer told you this?
Yes, sir.
What's the
And
violence
but
what's the violence that you suffered from your wife?
it's like she doesn't want me to live with her in her house, and
That's not
I
violence.
found
That's not violence. What's the violence that you suffered? What's the abuse, the physical abuse that you suffered?
she was like hurting me whenever I don't give her some money. Like whenever they went to a bowling, you know, free. Like she, hey, I need some money. I said I gave you all my money, and she pushed me. Or like say, hey, what? Hey, don't do this. Like, I'm doing my best. She wants some more. Like she wants like she gets everything she wants. I tried to. She told me she needs a car. Okay, I gave we went to the dealership, and we got a car, and I said, what's next? I said, I think you really don't marry me for marriage. Like you just need me for your for your what you call that, your needs. Like you want me to pay for the house, you want me to pay for the bills. I said this is not marriage, and you don't want me to live with you because you told me you have your kids dad. I said what's going on? Say I can't live with that.
So, what's your question for me, June?
And the question is, I have this incoming second interview, and my BAWA case is nearly on like a status of filing. Uh, what will be my next step with the USCIS? Should I call them and tell them I want to cancel the interview or what?
Well, what does your lawyer say? This brilliant lawyer that you have, what do they say?
She told me tell the USCIS that you are doing like filing a BAWA case.
Is the VAWA case on file?
Incoming. It says they're doing it right now.
Okay. I think you're this close to getting into deportation. This whole thing sounds like something that they're going to be very suspicious of. that they're going to say, dude, you came on a visit. You didn't go back when you said you would. You overstayed. You married someone. You got them to file for you. We scheduled you for an interview. You didn't show up for your interview. So then we waited and we sent you for a second interview. And you then said that you're getting to file a VAWA case. It's like they're not going to believe any of this, I don't think.
Then what will be your suggestion? Should I appear in that interview?
You can, but I mean, if it's after January 20th, they might just put you in removal. I mean, do you think maybe your wife sent them a mean letter and said you're a bad person?
No. We're still talking though.
Okay, but what does that mean?
And she was expecting that, but the problem with my wife is, she's stubborn. She don't listen to anybody. Like I told her, you know what? You have to listen to the lawyer because she's giving us advice. And she told me,
it sounds like your wife doesn't want to play the immigration game anymore.
yeah, sounds like that.
Does your wife? Wait, hold on. Does your wife know that you're filing the VAWA case?
No, I didn't tell her about it.
Is the same lawyer that filed your I-130 filing the VAWA case?
No.
It's a different lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I think the chances of any of this working is very, very low.
Okay.
I think you're going to get sent back home. And it's funny because I was just thinking that you were being stubborn in what I'm telling you, and you said your wife is stubborn. But to me, it seems like you're being stubborn and you're only hearing what you want to hear. I think your case is in big trouble. I think they're gonna the fact that you don't even have the VAWA case on file right now. If you don't show up for that second interview, they're going to say, this is a joke. We've given them 2 chances. This case is denied. And oh, by the way, here's your notice to appear in immigration court because you have no status in the United States. That's what I think is going to happen.
Sir, what do you mean I don't have status? I have a work permit though.
No status in the United States.
Even though I have a work permit?
Work permit's not shit. That's just a temporary work card. That's not status. You have no status. You're a visa overstay. And pretty soon you're going to be a visa overstay with a withdrawn or denied I-130 45 and a paper thin VAWA case.
And then what is your advice?
My advice is you probably need to start thinking about going back home.
Oh. I have any options besides that?
Well, let's play it out. The only other option that would be there would be if you married a different U.S. citizen. But at that point, you've had such a cloud of suspicion over you because of the coming on the tourist visa, overstaying, marrying someone who didn't show up for their interview, who didn't show up for their second interview, then filed a BS VAWA case, and then married person number 2. That's not much of an option. That the chances of that being approved are extremely low, under 5%. And they'll probably say the first marriage was fake, and then you don't get anything.
Does the VAWA would help me?
The VAWA sounds like you made it up. It doesn't sound like anything to me. VAWA is for when your husband beats the shit out of you. VAWA is for when you are beaten or locked up in the house or bad things happening. Somebody getting mad because you won't give them money to go to bowling is not VAWA. And your attorney who's filing it, they're the kinds of people that make real VAWA cases hard to get approved. So no, I don't think your VAWA case seems very strong to me, especially after everything that's happened.
And do you think I have to appear in that interview?
I'm not telling you that. You do what you want.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye, June. Yeah, I think he only heard what he wanted to hear. Okay, couple of things. Number one, I guess it doesn't really matter anymore, but we've already started seeing more notices of appear, more aggressive USCIS people, more aggressive CBP people. I think there's some people who are so happy that Trump is coming that they're already starting to turn mean even before the inauguration. You know, I've told the story before about this one officer who, when Obama was president, he was nice enough. He was okay. He was easy to get along with. And then the day that Trump came into office, literally the day he became a totally different person. It was absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. So, Angel, if you turn off your camera, I will pull you up. We went through this here. Oh, no, you're back on camera. We went through this yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna go to Irene.
My son, this is my second time. My son was approved for I-130 visa, but there's no visa number yet. Can he go here via a working visa, H-1B?
Does he have someone that wants to sponsor him for an H-1B?
I'm trying to find one. I already found one, so I'm just waiting for his resume to be updated.
What's his skill set?
He's an IT software developer, SAP ABAP developer.
I'm okay with him going ahead and applying for that H-1B, but you know it's a lottery, you know it's a long shot, and most importantly, make sure that he discloses that there's an immigrant visa petitioning for him.
Oh, okay, so in his resume or application letter, does he need to disclose it to the company or just the USCIS?
No.
Sorry, what?
No, he doesn't have to disclose that.
Okay.
You mean, does he have to disclose that? Does he have to disclose that you filed an I-130 for him?
Yeah, at the application letter to the employer.
No.
No, just the USCIS, something like that.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks. Everybody thinks I'm mad. I'm not mad. I'm just tired of talking about BS VAWA cases. I'm just tired of it. How many times have we talked about it on here? I really think maybe I should make a video. Here's what it's going to be called. People who file BS cases make life harder for those with real cases. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'll put a smile on it when I say it. People who file BS cases make life harder for those who have real cases. I want VAWA cases to get approved. I don't want any valid VAWA case to get denied. Right? But it's the playbook. It's the playbook. And Robert said, I'm always the last to know. I'm always the last to know. Robert said, I was waiting for VAWA. Robert's been watching this show too long. All right, looks like Angel got his camera off. I'm just going to change his name. No, now his camera's back on. Angel, you got to keep your camera off. I can't have you up on camera. Oh, my God. I'm scared if I pull him up, the camera's going to come back on. All right, Angel.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me, Jim?
Yeah, buddy. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. So my case, I think it's simple. I got my marriage-based residency in August 2023. So so I got it for 2 years because my marriage was less than 2 years. My marriage is strong, thank to God. So the plan now is to remove the conditions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen in August 2025, which is in 4 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, my wife and I want to go to Ecuador to visit my family and do other things in July.
Mm-hmm.
So in June 2025, this year, I can send that request, right?
That's the 751. That's the first. When did your green card start, Angel?
August 2023.
So that means August. So July, June, May, right? So you can apply 90 days early. Right?
Yeah.
So if I were you, I would apply 88 days early. And then what should happen is in about a month, so hopefully in June, you'll get your receipt letter.
Mm-hmm.
that receipt letter plus your green card will be what you need to travel to Ecuador. You said Ecuador, right?
Yes.
If they don't get it to you in time, then what you would do is you call USCIS and you say, hey, I applied for my 751. I need to leave the United States. I have a trip planned back home to Ecuador, and I haven't gotten my extension letter. Can I make an InfoPass appointment to go to my local field office and have them stamp a 1-year extension of my conditional green card status in my passport so that I can travel to Ecuador as planned?
Okay. I was thinking that if I go in July and then come back the last week of July to the US and then send that
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that'll work.
because it's August the 29th, the exact date when I got it.
Yeah. So
Do you
that would,
think that's
that would be May 29th, which means really all you have is June to get it taken care of. I would do it my way, but
okay?
I understand your plan too. I don't think anyone's going to give you trouble coming back as a conditional green card when
Yeah.
you know you got to file that 751 right after you. I'd have it all ready to go and file it as soon as you get back if that's what you're going to do.
Okay, but if I do it your way, do you think it's gonna be a problem? Because part of the trip that I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna do a mission trip, so I'm gonna be the leader of that mission trip, and I cannot miss that trip. You know,
Sure.
I want to be 100% sure that I will be able to go.
Here's my question. How soon before August 29th would you be coming back to the United States?
Oh, I will be here the last week of July the 29th, I think.
I was just worried about you maybe getting stuck longer
Oh, no.
without having filed it. Okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay. And for that, do you suggest doing that with a lawyer? Can I do it myself?
Oh, I think we handle 751s all the time. We'd be happy to help you.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah, just send me an email.
I will. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Angel. See you, buddy.
Bye. Thank you.
You got it. All right, listen. I need to start explaining some things about what's going to happen with the Trump administration, and I had a LinkedIn post today that I wanted to share with you guys because I think you might find it helpful. Present, share screen. Okay, so here's what I wrote this morning. A lot of folks are rightly concerned about what quick changes that Trump and his Project 25 crew can make to immigration. We'll have to wait and see what happens after the inauguration, but I wanted to explain the 3 types of authority that will come into play with the tightening of immigration. So first up, executive orders. Trump is promising to sign over 100 executive orders after he becomes president on Monday. Many of these orders address changes to the immigration system. In the prior Trump administration, the Muslim bans 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0 were examples of executive orders that he did that were challenged by pro-immigrant groups. Trump and his people, they really like executive orders because they don't have to go through the rulemaking process, which we'll talk about in a minute, or Congress, and they can be instituted quickly. These, though, are the weakest of the changes and the easiest to challenge in court. So expect to see Trump sign a lot of these executive orders and say all these massive changes that are coming. But I really want you to listen. Is this an executive order? Is this a rule change? Or is it a statute change? Okay. So Trump's I put a picture of him. You know how he likes to sign all that shit and sign it with his big black marker? And we all know what he's compensating for with his big black marker. But when you see that next week and the weeks to come, say to yourself, is this an executive order that can be challenged in court? Because if an executive order conflicts with a rule or the statute, then the executive order should lose. Now, the Supreme Court has said, especially when it comes to the State Department, that the executive branch has a lot of discretion in deciding how to interpret the law and enforce the law. So this Supreme Court will probably bend over backwards to make Trump's executive orders stronger than would normally happen, but still if it's a ladder, executive orders are at the bottom, and then above that are the federal rules. So every agency has what are called regulations. Those are sort of the procedures by which they have to enforce the law. Remember, Congress writes the law, and then executive agencies interpret the law and try to enforce the law. So if there's a rule in place, already, and you want to change the way that rule is interpreted, then you have to go through what's called the notice and comment process. So as I wrote here, when an agency wants to change its rules, the law requires a certain process. The biggest requirement is that the agency publish a proposed rule called notice and allow affected stakeholders to provide comment. And it's a really important part of the federal rulemaking changes. So when Trump tried to unilaterally declare DACA as revoked in the third year of his presidency, that was all challenged in court, and he ultimately couldn't do it because he hadn't followed the rulemaking process. He had tried to do it by executive order or by executive fiat, and just to say, we're not doing it anymore, right? So I think he'll probably do the same thing with birthright citizenship. And of course, the Constitution trumps statutes, and Trump's overcomes statutes, overcomes regulations, and overcomes executive orders. So if something's in conflict, the Constitution would win. So a lot of the times Trump lost in court when he was president last time was because he didn't go through notice and comment. And I talk about that here. Then we have the Immigration Nationality Act. So the Republicans right now control all three branches of government. Congress can pass legislation that the president can sign and thereby change our nation's immigration laws. That Lake and Riley Act, which is making its way through Congress, that's an example of that. And with the Supreme Court, three of them appointed by Trump and a lot of conservatives on there, and a Democratic Party that so far seems okay with giving Trump legislative victories. It'll be interesting to see what legislative changes are attempted. And then eventually you might want to study more about this, but I give you the basics. That's what you need to keep in mind when you're watching the news in the weeks to come. Ask yourself, what kind of a change is this, right? What kind of a change is it? So pay attention to that and act accordingly. All right, let's go to Joel. Hi, Joel.
Hey, hey, Jim. So I have a question. So I literally filed my 751, the thing to remove the condition of my green card last week. But I was watching your video last night about selective service. Now, I came here when I was about 24, 23, and I didn't do that selective service thing, and I want to file for my citizenship later this year so I can join the police department. Will that hinder my ability to do so?
Are you over 26 now?
Yes, I'm literally 26 now. I turned 26 last July.
Okay. So now it's too late for you to apply. You're too old to apply for selective service, I think. I think you got to be under 26. Yeah, once you turn 26. Okay, so I've had this case happen many times. And historically, the way that it works is, would it be fair to say that you didn't know that you needed to register until you saw my video?
Yes, I didn't know, honestly.
Would it be fair to say that if you had known about it, you would have done it?
Within a heartbeat.
And as far as you can remember, no one ever told you to do it?
No.
Okay. So when you apply for citizenship, you'll want to include an affidavit that swears all those things you just told me. Right?
So like when you say an affidavit, I'm sorry I cut you off. Do you mean like any person, or does it have to be,
So an affidavit is a sworn statement. So it just says, my name is Joel Anderson. I live at such and such an address. I'm a lawful permanent resident. I became a lawful permanent resident on such and such a day. At that time, I was 24. I'm now 26 or 27. I did not know, these are all separate paragraphs. I did not know that I needed to apply for selective service. If I had known that I was supposed to apply for selective service, I most certainly would have done it because I love this country. It's been very good to me, and I'm sorry for having missed out on this. I can tell you how much I want to become a citizen because I'm becoming a citizen so that I can become a police officer. Please forgive my failure to register for selective service. And so far, I've never had them say no.
Okay. So that answers my question. Thank you so much, Jim.
All right. Thanks, Joel. You can call me back when the time comes and we can do that all over again. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Bye, buddy. All right. Let's go to Madiwa. Hello, Madiwa.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I can't believe I actually got to speak to you. You were recommended by a very good friend.
Awesome.
Um, Good. I have a question. I have a girlfriend slash fiance, what they want to call her. She came here on in October. Her name is Joanne. Let's just say Joanne. All right.
Joanne, got it.
Yes. Yeah. She came here in October. Um, and when she came here, she got a 1 year B1 B2 visa. Right. So she's been here since she's supposed to go back March 28th. Because that'll be her 6 months time, just about a 6 month time. So she's supposed to go back and then she'll be able to come back. So this is my question, right? Is there anything she has to go back to her home country? By the way, she's from Zimbabwe. Does she have to go back to Zimbabwe before she comes back here, or can she just leave, go to any other country, and then come back?
Well, I like the question. I'm going to push back a little bit. Okay.
Yes.
You said that she can leave and then come right back.
Right. Like leave for a week, or for a few days.
I don't think they're going to let her in.
Oh.
Why does she want to come back right away?
No, not right away. I mean, leave, go home, see her kids, that type of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, so we've been dating now for a couple of years. She haven't been able to come. This is the first time being able to come here. So now we're like, hey, we like this.
How old is she?
She's 45.
What was the purpose of her visit?
Just to come visit, just to see me.
Did she say when she went to the embassy that the reason was to come see you?
Yes.
She said, I'm coming to see my boyfriend.
Yes, I'm coming to go stay with my boyfriend.
And they gave her a visit visa.
Yep.
I highly doubt that, but I believe you if you say it.
Yeah.
Because if she had said that, I don't think they would have given her the visit visa.
Oh.
But more importantly, if somebody comes on I believe that everybody should consider a 1 year visa as a single entry visa.
Oh.
Even though it might not say it, you don't get to use 51 weeks out of the 52 weeks in your visa. The purpose of the visa is to give you a 1 year window to come for 6 months. So I think if she leaves the United States, goes back, like you said, and sees her kids, or goes to Barbados to hang out, and then comes right back 2 weeks later, they're going to be like, lady, you have immigrant intent. You just came. Why did you come here? Oh, I came to see my boyfriend. And did you spend 6 months with your boyfriend? Yeah, I think you have immigrant intent. I think you're coming back to get a green card. So I think that I'd be shocked if CBP let her back in on a quick return visit like that.
Oh wow. we had no clue, because if that was I don't know what to even say to that. But okay, but I understand what you're saying, because I've been listening to the show all day.
Yeah.
In fact, I listened to a few of your past episodes. So my thing is this: so would it help if we were to get married?
Well, so I'm generally okay with that. But since this is had you gone to visit her before this trip?
Yes. Oh yeah. She's been in England, so we went to England. I saw her in England in June. In September we were in South Africa. So I've been going back and forth.
Yeah. So you guys have a long history together.
Oh yeah.
So and when did she last enter? When was her entry?
This October 12th.
So if you got married now and said it was after we talked to an attorney and he said we could go ahead and apply for adjustment, and Donald Trump was coming and we were sort of freaked out, we just decided to do it all here, and then you could apply for advanced parole in case she has to go back to Zimbabwe while her green card case is pending.
Okay. So would we have to do that by the couple of days?
Well, when is she leaving? I'm having a hard time getting my mind around the fact that we're halfway through January. Everyone's like, February's in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
Her ticket is for March 28th.
Oh, I would just say sometime before then, and I'd get it on file before then.
Okay. All right. So that will work. Now, my only other question. So we should do this ASAP. And once we do that, then she has to stay here until she gets her paperwork.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think that'll be a problem. Our kids can come here, if need be. I guess we could find them a way to come here to visit or something. Okay. All right. So I think those are our best option then. Gotta do something before she has to leave.
I think that's right.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I
Thanks
sure appreciate it.
Thanks for the
All right.
call. Yep. See ya. All right. America great since 1776. I like it.
Hey, Mr. Jim, how are you doing? Thanks so much
Great.
for doing. And I
Sure.
like yesterday's comment. You were talking about buy thing. Where did that come from? So
About what? About what?
you were saying like buy thing. Where did that come
Bye.
from? So,
Bye. Yep.
yeah, that was okay. So thank you, Mr. Jim, for what you're doing. So now my question is will be around AR-11 thing. So can you please walk me through while the green card is pending I-485, let's say if it's family or employment-based visa especially, those kind of visas are going to take a long time to be current, and then we have to move like from one apartment to another, and then the law says actually if you move you have to notify the USCIS within the 10 days. And then the other video which I watched, the previous, somebody called and you were talking about the one of the dirtiest trick of USCIS does, like they try to screw, like they say they send the RFE and actually they never got the RFE, and then they try to notice to intent to deny. Can you please elaborate how, like, if it's up to me, I would never change the address, because trying just to follow the law and inform them within the 10 days. So how do we approach that kind of situation then? And I also have a lawyer though.
Yeah. And so are we talking about an H-1B or an employment-based green card?
It's employment-based green card. It's been pending more than a 2 year, and God knows how many years gotta be wait for that, because it's never been like current since then. So
Is it EB2 or EB3?
EB3.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just got to play it straight. Every time you move, when you know you're going to be there more than a couple of weeks, you got to fill out that AR-11 and let the chips fall where they may. Having a lawyer will really help. And I would say, every time you move, you just got to do it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. So, and then I asked the lawyer too, like, hey, do you guys receive any letters, correspondence from USCIS if anything happens? They said, yeah, you can rely on to us. So as long as they receive, that's fine with me. But I just want to clarify with that. You were saying about the dirty trick USCIS trying to play.
I wouldn't worry about that so much. Did you on your G28, when we did Robert's case, we checked the box that said send the new identity documents to our office. Did you do that?
The identity documents,
the green card. Like when your green card actually comes, we told them to send it to us, not to you.
I have to go through that, because the work cards I have been getting to my address though, but all the notices, the lawyers get it, and then they also update me. So hey, we got this approval or whatever letters. So
all right, well, just stay on top of it. And what I always say is get to know your mailman or your mail lady so that you become friends and they're keeping an eye out for you at all your addresses for the stuff.
Yeah, got it.
All right, good luck.
All right,
thanks for the call. Yep. All right. Let's go to Jude. Hello, Jude.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Good, thanks. How's it going?
I'm good.
I just have two questions. My wife and I we sent in our green card package on the 31st of last year. And on the 7th of this month, someone signed on it at USCIS. My first question, however, is so I've been on F1 OPT, post completion OPT, with a EAD card which expired yesterday. I'm just wondering if that has any consequences on the application or effects on the application. That's the first question.
Say it again.
So we basically, I have an
ending green
EAD,
card.
EAD card. Yeah.
Some OPT EAD that's about to expire.
No, it expired yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, but we have the application in already with USCIS for the green card, and I'm just wondering if it has any consequences on the application.
No.
Okay. So the second question is, at the time when we were filing, we found out online that the money order for the application we did is capped at $1,000. But when we went to pay for the money order, they just gave us a money order for 1440 for the I-485.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just wondering if that's a problem. Will the packet be sent back to us? Is that what will happen?
You mean instead of breaking it up into two different money orders, they just made it all one?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
For 1440.
I mean, just so everybody watches, again, I hate money orders when it comes to USCIS because you can't really track them, right? So that being said, it should be okay.
Okay, sure thing. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
That was easy. Thanks, Jude. Bye. I forgot to do that bye last time. Darn it. We don't know when the next live is going to be. I've seen a couple of people asking. It won't be tomorrow. It won't be Friday. It probably won't be Saturday. Maybe on Sunday. But I got leadership stuff tomorrow and Friday, and then I'm traveling back on Monday. Maybe we'll do an airport show on Monday morning. That sounds good. But maybe before then. So if you're wondering when the next show is going to be and you're in the United States, you know that you can text the word show, SHOW, to 314-470-3300. That's SHOW to 314-470-3300. And you can get a text letting you know with the link to the waiting room and all that good stuff. That'll be episode 744, and it'll be sometime this weekend. Sammy is here. Hello, Sammy. You're on mute. Sammy, are you there? Hello, Sammy. Sammy's still on mute. All right. Let's go to Yorme. Hi, Yorme. You're on mute. Hello, Yorme.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, just real quick. Alejandra, can you send me an email? I need to talk to you. Thank you. All right. Yorme, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Jim, thank you very much for all that you do. Your resources on YouTube has been of great help. I've been following since 2021.
Awesome.
So my first question is, I have an asylum case that has been going on for 6 years, and nothing yet. I've not heard anything.
No interview, no interview, no nothing.
No, nothing. Right. So I got married to a U.S. citizen last year, January.
Yeah.
I filed for a green card, work authorization, and travel document. I filed for that in October. So since October up until now, I'm yet to hear anything from them. So my asylum work authorization expires in March. And the last time I spoke with my lawyer, if I should withdraw the asylum case because I already have my going on. And I can see you nodding your head already. So the work authorization expires in March. Should I renew the work authorization for the asylum, or
are you working?
Wait? Sir?
Are you working?
Yes, I'm working presently.
And you want to keep working?
Of course. I have to pay my bills.
For sure, I'd apply for an EAD.
The renewal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I shouldn't just wait for that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then my other question is, since I have an asylum pending, I have marriage, I need to attend a grandmother's burial. Is there a way I can expedite that? Will it expedite the green card?
Is that in the country that you fled?
Outside.
A different country.
The country I fled from.
It's not the country that you applied for asylum from.
Is the country.
So, I mean, before you said anything else, when you said that you were applying for advanced parole on the marriage-based green card case, I was nervous about having been deemed abandon the asylum case. See, the problem is they've locked you down over these last 6 years as an asylum applicant. They've barely recognized that you're married to a U.S. citizen and you have an I-130 pending. My concern is that if you travel outside the United States with your advanced parole, which frankly, you're probably never going to get it because the green card will probably come first. And I don't believe they're going to expedite things. They don't expedite advanced parole very often. Very, very rarely do they do that. So I think at the end of the day, you're stuck here anyway. But even if you weren't, I would not want you to leave until you have your green card in hand.
Oh, okay.
Just because their systems are so bad. You came on a visa.
Yes.
Originally, you came on a visa, so that visa would have
Yeah.
expired a long time ago. And sometimes CBP's records don't even show that you applied for asylum. So I could see you having trouble getting back into the United States, even with advanced parole.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you for this. So my last question is now looking at, because a friend of mine once told me like about the expediting E-zone to travel and to join the military. Does it still work to join the military just to have the green card expedited? Because I want to join the military. That's for government reasons, as it's stated in the website.
You want to join the military? You want to join the military for immigration reasons or other reasons?
No other reasons. No immigration reasons.
That's something you'd have to talk to the military about. I don't get involved in that. I just would caution you that I've heard a lot of horror stories about the government, the military, not honoring all their promises when it comes to immigration benefits for people that work in the military.
Okay.
But I don't know the answer to your question.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, Rame. All right. I think Sammy came back. Sammy, are you there?
Hey, yes,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yeah, go for it.
Hello? Hi,
Hello.
hi, Jim. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure.
So, Jim, I have my upcoming interview for my N400 by the end of the month, and obviously, I made many mistakes that I'm concerned, and I'm sadly so paranoid that I don't know what should I do. Like, should I just keep going and be honest? So the first thing, I do have my taxes like totally fine. We don't owe anything, but we filed late. Is that a problem?
What is it that you're applying for? Citizenship? Hello?
Yes, for the N400.
Okay. So you have a green card.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, a permanent one. Yep, I can hear you.
All right. So you have a green card and you're getting ready to apply for citizenship.
Yes.
And your taxes, you filed
Yes.
all of them late or 1 year late or what?
Well, all of them late.
Oh, well, are you current now?
Yeah, we don't owe anything. We are perfect. We are current.
So if the question was, have you paid all your taxes? The
Yes.
answer is yes. You don't have any overdue taxes.
We don't owe anything. No, sir.
Okay, so I would go to the IRS website when you apply or sometime before your interview and print out your tax transcript and let them know.
Okay, just so you know, Jim, I already submitted that. We submitted the 3 years
Great.
taxes. We submitted marriage certificate, my son's. My second question would be, do I need a driver's license? I have never had one and I don't have it.
Are you applying on the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule?
3-year rule.
At the very least, you need a state ID at the address you live at with your spouse.
Perfect. So that's we just do everything so wrong all the time. So we have the address together, of course, in the taxes, and he never changed his stepdad address because we lived with his stepdad the whole time. Like I've been here 6 years. So my first 4 years they were with his dad. So he didn't change that, but I do wanna put my address. So that's the best way to go, right?
I'm confused. You already filed the N400?
Yeah, we did. I already did, and my appointment is gonna be the last of January, the last day, January 21st.
And on your N400, did you use the address where you sleep at night?
Yeah, of course, because that's what it's on my taxes. That's where we live, and that's what it's on my taxes.
So what do you think you did wrong about your address? I don't understand.
So my husband, in this case, Carlos, since he moved to this city, that was like 12, 13 years ago or so, he has never changed his address in his driver's license.
Oh, he should do that yesterday.
Oh my.
You don't want to show up. You don't want to show up okay. Hi, Mr. Officer. We're applying on the 3-year rule. Oh, great. Welcome. My name's Officer Hacking. I'll be conducting your interview. Can I see your IDs? Oh, you live on Brown Street. You live on Red Street. What's that all about? You guys said you're married. That's like the worst way to start an interview. And that's a great video idea you gave me.
Okay, right on. So I'm gonna ask him to go to the DMV like today and get that changed.
Tell them to take you too, and you get your state ID.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do for sure. The state ID. I was supposedly reading that it takes like 1 week to get it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, this is so embarrassing. I know that. So Carlos and I, we have been legally married for 10 years. We have been together for 18 years. Carlos had an affair, and he had a kid out of it, a baby. Like in this case, it's a stepchild. I have a son with Carlos. We have a life. This is the only thing that I have. So we figure things out. Yeah. He's already doing the child support. When we applied for my citizenship, the baby, he was not legally his son because he didn't have the paternity test whatsoever. Now we have it. I want to be honest. I don't want to lie to them. I want to say, hey, there's a change in my life. So is that would be an issue for me?
So, thank you for telling me that. Was this baby born in the last 3 years?
He was born like, Jim, that would be not accurate to say, but I would say the beginning of this year.
He was born. So the statutory period for citizenship, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, is 3 years. And what I'm trying to figure out if whether that baby was born during the last 3 years, the 3 years you're using to apply for citizenship.
Yes.
It was baby was born in 2025 or January of 24?
2024. I know it's effed up. I know.
It is, and I'm sorry that happened. I hate to say it. I think that I would withdraw the N400.
Okay.
And apply on the 5-year rule.
Okay. Is that something that I can actually do? Withdraw because I already have the appointment?
I'll tell you what. Before you do that, could you just email me and ask me that question? Because I want to talk to Amani, my wife, about it. That might be a little drastic.
Okay. Of course.
Here's what I'll say. So here's the problem. And I assume that you got your green card based on your marriage to him, right?
So yeah, I now wanted to explain the situation because it was such a long journey.
Yeah.
We have been married for almost 10 years, right? So we got married on 2015 in Mexico. We lived there for 3 years. My son was born in Mexico, but he became an American citizen since Max was 1 year old, being in Mexico.
Yeah.
Carlos' mom got sick with terminal cancer, and that's the way when we moved. But it was so fast that after 3 years together, married, that's when I applied for my visa, and I explained why we wanted to come. Mm-hmm. Then, when I came here, I changed the status.
So you got a visit visa in Mexico?
That's correct, sir.
And
I explained why, because his mom was sick. So I followed my husband, who is an American citizen, and my son. And I came here and I changed my status before my permit was expired.
Yeah.
We made mistakes in the application because once again, we did all these by ourselves, like no experience at all. And then one day they sent me a letter and they said pretty much, we dismiss your case and you have 30 days to go back because my sponsor didn't do the right thing. So he made a statement. I have my house, I have my Edward Jones. Now I don't have dependents because Carlos' mom died. But you can say whatever you have, but if you don't show it,
Yeah.
There's nothing to do, right? So they declined, and I talked to an attorney. He gave me help that was so helpful. He said, "You're good. Just file a motion to appeal or reconsider and send actually everything. Heather Jones, bank statement, house, blah blah blah." So then I got another letter, forget the previous one, and then I got finally, you can come to an interview. So for the time, like we were married for so long, I got the permanent one, not
Right.
like not like the
2 year.
what's yeah, not like the 2 year, 3 year. I don't even know what is that. So I was kind of shocked when I got the permanent. I was like, why? So I kind of Googled and because we were married for 5 years at a time.
Mhm.
And well, no, 6. Now we are going to be almost 10 years in May.
Okay. So thank you for that extra bit of your history. Given
I'm sorry
everything,
about that.
oh no, I love it. No, it's very helpful.
Mhm.
Given everything that you've told me, I'm nervous about your citizenship interview.
Me too. I'm like dying. I'm literally dying.
I'm nervous that there's something maybe in your visit visa to the United States when you were married to a U.S. citizen. I know you told them, but sometimes the officers don't write all that stuff down, and then later on,
Yeah, they
USCIS.
look for an excuse.
Yeah. So what I would do? Are you sad?
Very. I'm concerned because it just sucks. My son has autism, and he's my main concern. Like, what am I going to do if we go back? Because there is no way that he's gonna be without me. Not at all.
I don't think you're going to go
So
back. Don't worry about that. I don't think you're going to go back. I think we just have to be careful how we step. And so if I were
okay.
you, based on everything you've told me, I would feel a whole lot more comfortable walking into a naturalization interview with you, having seen your entire file, whatever was filed with the State Department, whatever was filed with your green card application, with the denial, with the motion to reopen, given all the stuff that's happened, plus the baby.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have he has the child support. It just started because
Right.
once again, when we applied, he didn't even have the test paternity yet. So now, like,
what was the start date on your green card?
we applied in 2019. That's when COVID started, I think. It was 2019. Yeah. So once I made many mistakes. First of all, I didn't have the taxes, so that's one of the first letters. Hey, you need to submit your taxes. So we did. Then, Samantha, you don't have enough income. So no, I'm lying. I even went one step ahead, and like we knew that we didn't have enough income. He stepped that he was the one who sponsored me, but once again, he put, I have this. You can say that you're a millionaire, but if you don't prove it, you're screwed. So we didn't know that. And then that's when I got on Valentine's Day a letter. You have 30 days to leave the country. We denied your case. So that's when I talked to an attorney, like as soon as I could, like just how I found you. And he mentioned to me, it's easy, just file a motion to appeal or reconsider and put everything, send actually everything. His Ecuador, his house, his bank statements, his everything. So we did. And then I got another letter. Dismiss your case. So for all these was from 2019 until literally 2021. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's when Biden got in. Was 21 or 22? Yeah, 22. So I got the letter on January. Your interview is gonna be scheduled for August 13th. So that's when I got my interview, and that's the same day they send me a notice. Your card is being issued.
Okay, so here's the thing about the baby born out of wedlock. That makes me sad. I'm sorry that happened to you. All that stuff is all true. What I'm worried about though is that sometimes when people have a baby out of wedlock, USCIS assumes that's the real relationship. That the real relationship is with the people you're having children with.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. But we have a son together. My son is 9 years old.
I'm going to be a total jerk and pretend I'm USCIS.
Perfect. Yeah.
But they do too, right?
Of
They do.
course, yeah, the baby has the same right. Of course, no, that and that's not being a jerk. I actually
But
all
see,
these it's not okay for the baby.
so when you apply for citizenship under the 3-year rule, this is
Mhm.
the only way I can explain it is they're sort of doing you a favor. They're sort of letting you apply 2 years early. So for that,
Of course,
you
of
have
course.
to satisfy
Hmm.
on all the issues. And so I have a
Hmm.
video out there somewhere that basically says if there's any kind of problem with the marriage, and I would include infidelity plus child during the
Of
3-year
course.
statutory period as a problem with the marriage,
Hmm.
withdraw it and file after 5. I mean, because if your interview's coming up, you're probably almost time to apply under the 5-year rule anyway.
Yeah, well, not really, because the interview is for the end of this month, and I will have to wait 2 years, which that's okay. That's not the case.
Yeah.
I'm just paranoid because I have heard.
Sorry, that's my son.
No, don't worry.
Yeah, send me an email. Send me an email, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay, Jim. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, man.
Have a great day. Good luck.
You as well. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Oh, wow. How often is the last call of the day the toughest call? That was a very good call. I feel sorry for her. That was sad. And, you know, the shitty thing is that he's catting around, and it's going to screw up her ability to become a citizen now. And I think Robert's right. She's a very nice person, but I asked her, what was the start date on your green card? And she told the whole story, which I understand, but that's an example of listen to the question and just give the answer. So if the officer says, what was the start date on your green card? September 13th, 2021. Don't tell the whole story, right? All right, guys, this is good. We're learning good stuff. I hope you all have a great night. And I will let you know when the next show is. You can text the word show. Hina will send that out whenever we go live next. Because Nurse Laura asked nicely, I'll try to do it sometime in the next 5 days. I'm sure I'll be sitting on the floor watching Nor play softball somewhere. So we'll try to find a little spot. Oh, I'm going to the airport on... Oh, that might be too early for Laura. That's too early. All right, guys. We'll see ya. Bye.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in the state of Asia.